Hey Lynn fam, welcome back to my first team selection video of the season. Our first game week is done, it's in the bag, and it was an amazing opening weekend. A few surprises, I thought. If you're loving the content, then please do drop a like. Let's try hit 60 likes on this video, that would be fabulous. Do drop me a comment below. How did your game week go for you? And are you knee-jerking Kane out already? Lastly, if you're new to the channel, then please do subscribe. We're all friends here. Okay, as always, let's look at my points before looking ahead to game week 2. So let's get into this. I really wasn't sure if to go with Ramsdale at the start here, as you'll know from my deadline stream. Not because I thought he'd be a letdown for me, but because I felt it took up an Arsenal spot that I could be using elsewhere, such as Zinchenko. I was right a little bit here, but I won't grumble at Rama's clean sheet for 6 points. My defence was actually pretty decent. A triple up of 7s. Trippier got a clean sheet with a bonus point. James and Cancelo got a clean sheet and 2 bonus points, but they both picked up yellow cards. Naughty boys. But it was the Liverpool defence that surprised the most, conceding 2 goals to Fulham. I was on Trent and Robbo an hour before the deadline, as you guys will know. This week I got away with just having the one of them for 1 point, but I don't expect to get lucky every week with that. In midfield, it was a 50-50 affair. The 2 players I didn't waver on delivered. Salah as my captain got a goal, an assist and 2 bonus points, getting me 24 points as my captain. Never start without Mo Salah. I was sick of hearing myself say it all pre-season in both my streams, but there's a reason why most of us content creators bang on about it, and this is it, because it's easier to sell an out of form Salah than it ever is to get an in-form Salah back into your teams. Martinelli, my guy, was tough knowing if to go him or Saka, but with Martinelli's pre-season I just didn't move him in any of my drafts, and he repaid my faith with a goal and a clean sheet point for 8 points in total. Saka did well too with an assist, but at Martinelli's 6 million price tag at the moment, I'm chuffed with his goal. As you can see, I ended up moving back to Diaz before the deadline, only really because I couldn't get Robbo in with James, Trent and Cancelo without losing the 8 million midfielder spot, which I really wanted, and I wasn't willing to compromise on this. It also meant that I would have had to go with the really cheap keepers in order to do it. So to cover pool, Diaz came back in over Kulusevski. Oh man, Kulusevski, how that hurts. That's when you know FPL is back, when the regret is real. Especially when Diaz scored, but it was ruled offside, and then hit the bar. Such close margins, and therefore just the 2 points from him. Just the 2 points for Bailly. Bailly versus Neto was the decision here, but in the end this week it didn't matter. Up front, all hail Haaland, the newcomer to the Prem we all needed. I don't know how I survived Spurs scoring 4 goals without any involvement from Harry Kane. I just don't know. So I was just happy to have got through that, to be honest. But for Haaland to then tuck away a brace, that was just dreamland for me. 13 points of Haaland happiness. Thank you so much. And of course, it was just typical that the most owned player in game week 1 blanked. That's just typical of a bandwagon in FPL. Hopefully we haven't weighed him down too much and he'll be back better than ever next game week, especially for Arsenal's sake. He looked great, so hopefully it's just a matter of getting that first goal under his belt in the Premier League. And Jesus will be away. All of that means I'm on 79 points. It's a red, but I guess that's the same for all except number 1 in the world this week. Not a bad start at all, really. Very happy with that. With that, let's have a look at how I'm currently lining up for game week 2. And, well, at the moment, we are looking much the same. With the setup I started on in the 4-4-2 formation and spending the cash I did, I didn't really leave much room for squad rotation. I have 1 million in the bank, which is good for flexibility, which I may use in 2 transfers or a mini wildcard next game week. Early thoughts on that at the moment after game week 1, just initial gut reaction, is to possibly move Diaz to Kulusevski or City midfielder, but I'd like to see Richarlison's impact on Kulusevski first when he comes back in next game week and see who starts for City again. And maybe I'll look at moving Trippier on in his more difficult fixture in game week 3 to someone who has an easier fixture going ahead. But again, I'd like another look at Trippier before deciding on that. It may very well be that we can leave him in the more difficult fixtures anyway. He has some attacking potential. But if I can avoid making any transfers this week, I will, in order to attack Game Week 3 and beyond a little better with some more information. And I would suggest to you guys, if you're lucky enough to be in the same position, that you do the same. I have, however, rejigged my bench though and moved Andreas to first on it because he looked absolute fire against Liverpool. I'm surprised he didn't get a return, to be honest. If I was braver, I'd probably play him over James, but James's OR is the reason why he's in my team at the moment, so it's a bit early to be going against the grain on that one. Captaincy is on Haaland against Bournemouth. Bournemouth didn't roll over against Villa like everyone thought they would, but still, hopefully City will get amongst them and Haaland can continue how he started. Him having got some returns in Game Week 1 makes me more confident to place the armband on him regardless of his fixture going into Game Week 2. Speaking of Haaland, let's move on to the trending transfers. 635,558 players have already transferred Haaland in, causing a price rise for him, along with Zinchenko and Mitrovic last night. It looks like there are a lot of people who are not willing to wait around to see whether Kane is going to be able to repay their faith. I completely understand this, what with Haaland's fixtures and his already percentage owned, but yeah, it looks like the price market this season already is going to be absolutely nuts. And there are some early shifts already for Kulusevski and Martinelli. Potentially a rise to come on both of those, I'm not sure, but I mean, really, these are a lot of moves very early on after one game week. I think it might be a little bit knee-jerky. I understand the Haaland one. The Zinchenko, Mitrovic, Kulusevski and Martinelli maybe would be another week wait and see for myself. Moving out, Kane, understandable as we say, the switch for Haaland. Jesus, I think that's a big shout after one game week. I guess people maybe going to Mitrovic and freeing up cash to potentially buy in other players. Perisic, I mean, he was always a bit of a doubt anyway for this game week, so I guess another game week's worth of information on him would be great. Cash, him and Son, moving them out, I guess would be potentially to get the likes of Salah and Zinchenko. I do understand it, but I think getting another game week's worth of information under your belt and making more informed decisions might be better. These transfers feel very knee-jerky at the moment. And that's it, you guys. Thanks for watching and supporting me. If you want to continue supporting the channel for more helpful tips and tricks and entertainment this season, then please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really means a lot. Have a great rest of your week. Let me know what content you'd like to see on the channel in the comments below. But for now, please check out the sponsors of this video, Fantasy Football Fix. Until next time, Nymphree out.